Hello and good afternoon. I am Ashley with Winging It with Ash. Welcome to my channel. This week I thought I would share with you 5 different things that I have come to not like very much while living here as an American in the UK. I think one of the most common things that people might say that they dislike about the UK is the weather. And for me, it's not that bad. I have lived and survived through a Welsh winter and I am just fine. So the weather is not going to be on my list. My list will be a few things that as an American have been a little annoying, something that I've learned that I dislike while living here. The first thing on my list is the tiny lanes. Now, the tiny lanes are amazing in their own right. I really enjoy going through the tiny little roads because it is so different from where I live in the US. But the thing about them is that I get motion sickness. I've always gotten motion sickness. I'm unable to read in cars. I'm unable to look down on my phone, giving people directions. I have to rely on Siri or Google or whatever to give directions because I can't look at a map. I can't look at my phone. And so going through those tiny lanes, if I just look down for 5 seconds, I already feel very motion sick. I get really nauseous. First time I came here, I was so sick. I was I needed to open a window as soon as possible because I thought that I was going to throw up. It was awful. So that's what I don't like. The little teeny lanes, when you're going through them, they're so swervy. And yeah, you are stopping and starting because other cars need to pass you. So if you're going this direction and a car's coming, there's not enough room for both of you. So you have to stop, pull over as far and close to the side of the road as possible just so that this car can squeeze by and go through. So stopping, starting, tiny lanes, they are just not for me. The second thing on my list is holidays. It's not particularly for the UK, but I have learned that I love the traditions I grew up with, the way that I celebrate holidays in America. But being here in the UK, I've learned that there are different ways to celebrate holidays, different things that different countries do. And I do love learning those things, but in a way it makes me feel like I've never celebrated that holiday because the traditions that I'm used to, I don't do. Specifically, it was just Easter, and traditionally at home we would go to church and we would dye Easter eggs, we would have deviled eggs, things like that. And here in the UK, it's hard to find white eggs, normal eggs. So if I were to dye eggs here, which is possible, it is an option, then I would need to dip most likely brown eggs into whatever color I wanted. If you dip a brown egg in yellow or green or purple, the outcome isn't going to be as bright and colorful as the outcome with a white egg. It's just not the same kind of tradition. Also for Easter, they give each other large chocolate eggs. That's the tradition here, is to give each other these big chocolate eggs that are hollow on the inside. Whereas in the US, I think it's more common to give a hollow Easter bunny. I have never seen a huge chocolate egg, but this year I saw a ton because it's the tradition here. It's not a bad tradition. I actually really love it, but it's definitely different from my upbringing and what my traditions are at home. The third thing on my list is my credit card or debit card. As an American here in the UK, I do not have a legal address quite yet, so that I can't get a bank account, which means I do not have a card from the UK to pay for things. With my US cards, sometimes they are rejected or they can't. I have a Discover card specifically that I can barely use anywhere. My Visa is mostly taken in places, but sometimes when I try to use it online, like ordering groceries, I've found that it's rejected because it does not have certain security coverage. And then when I go to the grocery store, every single time I have to sign the bottom of the receipt This is something that you have to do in the US as well, so it's not something out of my comfort zone, but I do feel bad for those who have to ask me for my signature because it's not something that they're used to. They don't always have a pen, so they have to scramble and find one, so I feel bad putting them in that kind of situation. But yeah, that is just something that's a small annoyance as an American here in the UK that yeah, not all my cards are taken, and sometimes I'm in the position where I'm not quite sure if my card will be accepted. The fourth thing on my list is one-stop shop. I miss going to a Target so much, or going to Walmart. Just one grocery store that has everything. Pharmacy, that has clothing, that has groceries, electronics, like one shop with everything in it. I think here in the UK, something like that can be found in large cities, but when you're in a smaller town, you have to go to different places for different things. The pharmacy is all on its own. If you want to go somewhere for electronics, that's going to be on its own. The grocery store is going to be on its own. So you have to hopefully be in a place that has all those different things available, or you need to go into a bigger city that will have those things available. But I do miss in America just being able to go to one store with everything that I need in it and not have to worry about going from place to place to place, especially because I don't have a vehicle. It would be so much easier if I could just go to one place. The other thing is that as an American coming here, I have had to learn, and it's been a pretty steep learning curve as to what stores sell what things. I don't know the store, I don't know the pharmacy from the electronics store, from the home goods store. All these different stores have different names that I'm not used to, and so I have had to definitely learn what stores sell what items, but I have yet to be in one store that has all the things. So if you know of a store here in the UK that is kind of like a one-stop shop, like a Target or a Walmart or a Fred Meyer, if you're familiar with those things, put it down in the comments below, because I would love to know the name of that store to make my shopping a little bit easier. And my fifth and last thing that I have not liked here in the UK, and that I was not used to when I first came here, was specifically the food going bad so much faster than the food in the US. Now, this is not a good reflection specifically on the US, as our food is not as fresh, and or I don't know, like hormones and things. Like I could get fruits and veggies and they would last much longer than the fruits and vegetables here. If I get a box of strawberries here, I need to make sure to eat them within 1 to 3 days, or they definitely will start going bad. When I first came, I made a big shop, and too much of my food went bad because I was unable to eat it in the amount of time. So that's been something that I've definitely had to get used to, and I think that is why people do smaller shops here in the UK versus in the US. You go to the grocery store, you go to Costco, you get a massive cart full of items, and they'll last much longer. It's been an adjustment for me to figure out what lasts and how long it lasts and how long I have after ordering it, to make sure that I cook it in the amount of time that it will still be delicious. Helicopter. Pretty much right over. So is that a bad reflection here on the UK? No, not at all. I actually prefer to have better, nicer foods. I just have had to adjust, and it's taken me a while to figure out how to do that. Okay, that is it. That is my list. Seriously, my list of things that I love about living here and that I've come to love about living here is so much more than, it's been really hard actually for me to find things that I dislike about living here in the UK, living here in Wales. My time here has been amazing. I have fallen in love with so many things that I didn't expect to fall in love with, and even you'll find some of the things that I dislike on this list, they're not bad things. They're just different things and things that I've had to adjust to as an American moving here and not being here for a very long time. I feel like my adjustments have happened pretty quickly and easily. Like I could live here a much longer period and adjust very happily to these items on this list. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I definitely will be coming up with a list to share with you about the things I love about living here in the UK. Leave a comment below if you dislike anything here about living in the UK, or if you've visited the UK and you think maybe that would be a little difficult for me. Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great weekend.